You will know my next guest, I am sure, as the dashing Duke of Hastings from the Netflix hit show Bridgerton. Last night, though, Regé-Jean Page was back on the red carpet for his new movie, Dungeons and Dragons Honour Among Thieves. Regé joins me now. It's so lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning. How was the premiere? Was it good fun?
Not at all. It's my pleasure.
Did you have a good...
Yeah, the premiere was lovely.
Good, good. And it's sheer escapism, Dungeons and Dragons. But, Regé, you don't have to know the game or have played the game to enjoy the movie.
No, not in the slightest. You need nothing to walk in other than the desire to have fun. It's one of those little misunderstandings where Dungeons and Dragons, the truth about it is it's not about dungeons or dragons or magic, like that's all there, but it's about these strange, weird, magical moments that happen with your mates when you're playing the game. And that's what we made the movie about, and then we put dragons back in, you know?
Got you. So it's about relationships, it's about people getting on with one another, people supporting each other, and also there's a lot of laughs as well, which is good. Lots of weird and wonderful creatures, you know? Lots of weird, crazy creatures in there.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the best things about the creatures, everything about this movie is about that kind of old-fashioned filmmaking that we don't see much of anymore. It's a very kind of 80s adventure movie. There's an innocence to it in terms of where the humor comes from. It's never meta or cynical. It's always just kind of enjoying itself in the world. Particularly, you mentioned the creatures. Our directors were very passionate about keeping it real and tangible. So we've got lots of animatronic creatures. As an actor, it's an absolute treat because I was never acting with a tennis ball. You know, you see in the green screen movies. There were always these great monsters in front of me, these robots kind of blinking at me and twitching their muscles. And tell you what, top tip, if you ever see a pile of barrels in the movie, there's usually a very technical man hiding behind them with a very complicated remote control controlling the monsters, which is... the effect being that you have a very, very real world to play with in the magical world, you know?
Right. Oh, they've got... And I actually think that makes all the difference. It makes all the difference, obviously, when you're doing your job, but it makes a difference for us as, you know, the experience, because it feels much... You just feel as if you're in there as well. It feels much more real.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Pine, our glorious team leader, has been very passionate about this, that this movie is... as you said, escapism. It's a safe space to kind of walk out of what is a very, very tense world at the moment and just walk into the movie theatre with your friends, with your family, with people you don't know, and just have a place where you can just let all of that go and just laugh, just have a good time, cry if you want to, everyone's friends, and just kind of release into a fantasy world of escapism and fun and know that you're in good hands with that. And, you know, we throw magic and dragons and swords over the top.
Well, exactly.
Sometimes life can be that simple.
Exactly. You've got Hugh Grant in there as well. I mean, it's a fantastic cast. And you've got him too as the perfect baddie, and also with very dry sense of humour. So I imagine that on set and playing with, you know, being with him was it? Yeah, it's a good experience because there's a lot of downtime.
Yeah, I mean, the downtime, the uptime, it's kind of the same. It's a very, very playful cast.
Right.
We started the whole experience by playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, which is essentially just a game of improv, so it's a home base for actors. But in this sense, you're playing improvisation with Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Hugh Grant, and these are the sharpest, wittiest, funniest people that I've ever worked with. And so it's both very, very entertaining, very challenging to get the best takes into the movie because you have to not laugh through them. The minute something brilliant happens, we'll crack up and laugh the first time and then go, right, we now need to recreate that magic and make sure we can actually get it out to an audience. So it's a joy to work with folks that funny and witty and also incredibly challenging in that way.
I suppose it must be. Now, look, as you know, lots of scientists have got together with their white coats on and serious expressions, and they have found that you are the world's most handsome man. Congratulations on that. Congratulations to your parents also. But what it mustn't take away from that, it's lovely. But at the end of the day, you're a really good actor. And that's kind of what is more important, I guess.
I mean, you use all of the colours on your palette when making your art. And I'm glad to have that perception in there somewhere. I'm sure it's useful to someone somewhere. It was news to me. It was news to everyone else. But, you know, I'll take it as it goes. Yeah,
absolutely, and why not? Of course, we loved you in Bridgerton. It was such an enormous hit all over the world, and it was beautifully, beautifully done. It did get a little bit out of hand, though, because you were shooting Dungeons and Dragons in Belfast, and the radio station was saying, where is it? People were looking for you. Like, people were getting points for spotting you out and about when you were filming.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It got a little bit... It got a little bit odd, a little bit much. I remember that was one of the moments I realised that things had changed after that show. I landed to shoot this movie, Dungeons & Dragons, and our driver turned on the radio, and they were essentially running a Where's Wally competition. They were just like, we know he's in town, we know he's in the country, call us in if you know where he is. And so I'm glad that folks were having fun. I mostly holed up in my hotel at that point, just kind of processed what that all meant. But every now and then, folks would just like jump out of the bushes on the sea path and be like, "Hello, welcome to Belfast." And be like, "That's a very energetic welcome, thank you."
I know it is, but it was a wonderful thing to be part of, and of course it has, you know, led you to be doing things like Dungeons and Dragons and many other things in the future. Next time, come in and see me. Enjoy just all of the attention. Enjoy being the most beautiful thing in the world, and just keep doing what you're doing. Lovely to talk to you today. Thank you, gorgeous. Well, no, scientists, Regé.
Thank you very much.
It wasn't just me, it was scientists. Thank you, gorgeous. Great to talk to you. Thank you so much. Oh, what a lovely
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
And you can see Dungeons and Dragons on our Amongst Thieves in cinemas from next Friday. Honestly, it was a scientific fact. So there.